class. We will just take about 2 or 3 minutes to get set up, to get settled in. I just got done with the class and I am just getting everything set up. I'm recording this lesson. I just want to remind you all that I record the lessons and then we post them on CrewJoy's website where you can watch them at any time. So you can always go back, watch these lessons, and review, which is really cool. You can go back and look at different lessons. You can look at this lesson. So a lot of chances for you to learn, okay? A lot of opportunities. And my name is Calvin. I am a native English speaker from the United States of America. I was born in the USA. I grew up there, and I've spent about 40 years in the United States. So I've spoken English my whole life. If you can understand me clearly, that's great. That's why many of you are here, to learn from a native English speaker and improve your English, especially with your vocabulary and the pronunciation and things like that. So good to see you all here. We have Dada is back. Feya is back again. Good to see you, Cobb. Good to see you as always. Faye is here. So we have Feya and Faye. Good to see both of you. Lanta is here. Teen is here. Tin, good to see you. Potter's back. Puna is here again. Awesome. Good to see you all. Turn your cameras on, please. We have a few of you with the cameras off. Duo, get that camera on. Get the camera on. If you can. If you are busy, have distractions, keep it off, I guess. If you can, get the camera on. If you turn the camera on, that does not mean that I will make you talk. All right, so don't worry. If that's what you're worried about, don't worry. If you turn the camera on, I will not make you talk if you do not want to. I will never make you talk in front of the class if you do not want to. So tonight, if I call your name and ask, hey, would you like to speak? If you don't want to speak, just shake your head, go no. So that means that you don't want to speak. I will not make you speak, okay? But get the cameras on. Let's have some fun tonight. It is Saturday, March 29th, 8:06 p.m. Thanks for joining me. Once again, my name is Calvin. And most of you I know already, okay? Faye, I just want to ask, is it your first night? I'm going to get your microphone on. Is this your first night tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I thought. I did not recognize you. So you signed up today, is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Did you see me on live stream today with CrewJoy?
Yes, on TikTok.
Okay, perfect. So you signed up today and you are in class tonight. Very good to see you. Nice to meet you.
Nice
And
to meet you too.
how do you say your name?
Faye, that's it.
Faye.
Faye.
Okay, I just
Yes.
want to make sure. Thank you. Well, thank you for joining, Faye. It's good to meet you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to turn your microphone off. Perfect. So yeah, for the new students, we always enter the microphones are off. I turn them off so that we're not all talking. And then when I want to talk to you, I will ask you and unmute you. So Faye, perfect. You already got it down. You understand. All right, let's get started here in 1 minute. Smith, we have Smith here tonight. Is it your first night? Raise your hand if it's your first night. Okay. Yes, let's say hello to Smith. You can turn your microphone on. Hello.
Hello, I'm Smith. I'm new classmate. Nice to meet you.
Awesome. Did you see me on TikTok today?
Yes.
Okay, and you signed up, and thank you for joining. It's good to see you. It's nice to meet you. All right, I just wanted to say
Yes.
hello. Good. And Pimmy's here. Pinong is here. Pinong, is it your first class? Okay. So I want to get started. I'll try to talk to all the new students here, but I will get started. It is 8:07 p.m. Thanks for joining. My name is Calvin. All right, we have 25 students in the class right now. No big deal. We can have 50 students. We could have 100. No big deal. Just focus on me, learn with me, and we will get through this, okay? Let's get started. We will start with some vocabulary words, okay? In my classroom, we always start with vocabulary. It's a good way to practice, a good way to get warmed up, get our mouths moving a little bit, get a little practice in before we start the new lesson. So here we go. Most of you have seen this before. My students come back every single night, so we will practice again. We will do this for about 5 minutes and then move on. I need a volunteer, so raise your hand if you would like to repeat after me. Raise your hand if you would like to practice with me right now. Who's it gonna be? Potter? You ready to roll?
Yes.
All right. So everybody is repeating after me. Everybody at home, your microphones are off, but you are speaking aloud, okay? And Potter is helping me. Here we go. No,
No.
no,
No.
honest,
Honest.
honest,
Honest.
island,
Island.
island,
Island.
three,
Three.
three,
Three.
three,
Three.
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 Yes. Think,
Sick.
think,
Think.
thank,
Thank.
thank,
Thank.
thank,
Thank.
that,
That.
that,
That.
this,
This.
this,
This.
this,
This.
fruit,
Foot.
fruit,
Foot.
juice,
Juice.
juice,
Juice.
juice,
Juice.
bread,
Bed.
bread,
Bread.
bread,
Bread.
heart,
Heart.
heart,
Heart.
blood,
Bread.
blood,
Bread.
blood,
Bread.
blood.
Bread.
Much better. Good job. Let's do it 3 more times. Blood,
Bread.
blood,
Bread.
blood.
Bread.
Good. Thank you, Potter. Awesome. You've been volunteering and speaking up like 3 or 4 times tonight. So he was in my class earlier from 7 to 8 p.m. So nice job, Potter. All right. Who is going to help me next? We have one more person to help me. Who's it going to be? Who's going to raise their hand? I need somebody. Let's see here. Can I get Moy? Would you like to help? Can you get your microphone on? Let's see if she'll do it. All right. Good to see you. Repeat after me. Girl,
Girl.
girl,
Girl.
comfortable,
Comfortable.
comfortable,
Comfortable.
comfortable,
Comfortable.
wanted,
Wanted.
wanted,
Wanted.
stopped,
Stop.
stopped.
Stop.
This one has the T at the end, okay? Even though it's ED, it has more of a T at the end. So stopped,
Stop.
stopped.
Stopped.
I stopped at the red light. I,
Repeat.
I,
Repeat again.
I stopped at the red light.
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 Nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right.
Okay, thank you for practice.
Yes. Thank you for practicing with me because you did not raise your hand. I called your name and then you said yes. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Microphone off. Very good. Okay. That's enough for now because the lesson we have tonight is long. There's a lot to go over. There's a lot to cover. So if you were in my first class from 7 to 8 p.m., we are going to continue that lesson, okay? Because it's very long. If you just started right now at 8 p.m., this will be new to you, okay? This is about the earthquake that happened in Myanmar and that was felt in Thailand as well. So the lesson is about the earthquake and it's a sad thing that happened. I hope that everybody is okay. I know some of you had to evacuate buildings. Some of you, it was very scary. So I want you to know that I'm glad that you are okay. It seems like most of you are okay. You are in class. I hope that your friends and your family are okay. Some of your friends, some of your family might have been affected, might have had to evacuate buildings. So I really hope that your friends and family are okay. And so we just want to talk about the earthquake tonight in the lesson. It's sad, right? It's not something fun to talk about, but we're just going to talk about it. We are going to learn from it. All right. So we want to make something positive out of this experience. It's a very bad earthquake, but we want to do something positive about it. We're going to learn about it in English tonight, okay? So that we can talk about it a little bit. So that's what I want, okay? I want us to try to make something good out of this bad event, okay? So I've really been thinking about it. So tonight's lesson will have words about the earthquake, things like emergency or collapse, like some of the buildings collapsed, things like, I don't know, things like ambulance, okay? Many ambulances would have to come, hospitals, things like that. So have to do with earthquakes, buildings that would sway, right? They would sway, they would move, okay? So let's get started. I'm going to get the lesson pulled up here and we will go. Like I said, I know it's not fun to talk about, but we are just doing it to learn, okay? So we're going to start where we left off. If you were in my last class, okay? Once again, if it's your first class, my name is Calvin. Thank you for joining. All right, you can come every night. I have class every night from 7 to 8 and 8 to 9. Here we go. So we have some vocabulary words right here. Okay, we're going to practice saying those words. We're going to practice the pronunciation. You're going to repeat after me. And then we have a sentence, okay? It has to do with the earthquake. So we'll just get started and just repeat after me. The first word here, high rise. High rise. Sway. Sway. Noticeably. Noticeably. Quake. Quake. And I also want to mention that I'm going to be going a little bit faster than normal just because there's a lot of words tonight in this lesson. So just try to follow along, okay? We won't always go this fast, but there's a lot to cover, a lot to go over. So I'm going to go a little bit fast, all right? I hope you can keep up. So I'm going to use that in the sentence right here. Many high-rise buildings in the city swayed noticeably during the quake. All right, so repeat after me. Many high-rise buildings in the city swayed noticeably during the quake. Many high-rise buildings in the city swayed noticeably during the quake. All right. Now let's try to read the whole sentence, okay? So repeat after me. Many high-rise buildings in the city swayed noticeably during the quake. All right. And Cobb, would you like to turn your microphone on and help us out? Good to see
Sure.
you. Good to see you, Cobb. You're here every night. I love it. So go ahead and you can read this sentence here.
Okay. Many high-rise buildings in the city swayed noticeably during the quake.
Very nice. That was excellent. Just do it one more time.
Many high-rise buildings in the city swayed noticeably during the quake.
Very nice. Thank you, Cobb. Good.
Okay.
Good. So yeah, I just want to explain that the word quake, like right here, we practiced, it's just short for earthquake. All right. So the English word for what happened yesterday in Myanmar and Thailand was earthquake, but we just make the word short. We just say quake. All right. So it's just earthquake, quake. All right. Same thing. We're talking about the earthquake, the quake. All right. Let's move on. We did these words in the last class, so I'm going to go down a little bit more. because there's so many. There's so many to learn. I think we were about here. So let's start with this picture, all right? So I'm just going to describe it using some words. It looks like a building collapsed, right? That's one of our vocabulary words, collapsed. It fell down. It broke. It fell down. It collapsed. We see a lot of people on the ground. I would say there's about 20 people. Can you see them? There's a bunch of people. They're wearing construction hats, the hard hats to protect their heads. Some of them, it looks like these are maybe military people. These are construction people, rescue workers. There's a pile of dirt here. You know, it's just doesn't look very good. It's just kind of like a collapsed building, right? Not much else. Okay. So let's go through the questions. Okay. So we talked a little bit about the words. We used the examples, the sentences, and I'm actually going to read through the sentences one more time. Okay. So we're going to have to listen to these to answer the questions. Okay. So we have some questions down here like, were there any casualties in Bangkok? Casualty means deaths. Did anybody die? There's going to be questions like, what was the government's response to the earthquake? Okay. What did the government do? How big was the earthquake? So I'm just going to read some of these things and we'll try to answer the questions in a little bit. Okay. So here we go. Listen up. You can read along with me if you would like. The earthquake on March 28th, 2025 caused significant tremors throughout Bangkok. The earthquake on March 28th, 2025 caused significant tremors throughout Bangkok. Okay. Many high-rise buildings in the city swayed noticeably during the quake. Many high-rise buildings in the city swayed noticeably during the quake. Now remember, you're just listening, okay? You do not have to repeat. You have to go a little bit faster. So just listen. Emergency services were overwhelmed with calls after the earthquake. Emergency services were overwhelmed with calls after the earthquake. Several buildings suffered structural damage and some even collapsed. Several buildings suffered structural damage and some even collapsed. People evacuated their homes and workplaces, seeking safety in open areas. People evacuated their homes and workplaces, seeking safety in open areas. The transportation system in Bangkok was disrupted with temporary closures of the BTS and MRT. The transportation system in Bangkok was disrupted with temporary closures of the BTS and MRT. News reports indicated that the epicenter of the earthquake was in neighboring Myanmar. News reports indicated that the epicenter of the earthquake was in neighboring Myanmar. Rescue teams worked tirelessly to search for survivors in the rubble of collapsed buildings. Rescue teams worked tirelessly to search for survivors in the rubble of collapsed buildings. Hospitals in Bangkok were treating a large number of injured people. Hospitals in Bangkok were treating a large number of injured people. Aftershocks continued to be felt in the hours following the main earthquake. Aftershocks continued to be felt in the hours following the main earthquake. Communication networks experienced temporary disruptions due to the high volume of calls. Communication networks experienced temporary disruptions due to the high volume of calls. International aid organizations offered assistance to support the relief efforts? International aid organizations offered assistance to support the relief efforts. Many people expressed their shock and fear on social media platforms. Many people expressed their shock and fear on social media platforms. All right, so that's all of the sentences, okay? We had some vocabulary, and these are the sentences that we learned in the first hour from 7 to 8. We have a long lesson tonight, so that's why we are continuing with that, okay? So let's see if we can answer some of the questions, all right? I will help you. And let's just check in here really quick. I want to see how many people we have here. Let's take a 1-minute break. If you need a glass of water, if you need to stand up, move around, let's do that. So we have 28 students in class, all right? Sometimes people want to know. 28 students, and many of you I already know. I see you every night, so welcome back. Some people say, yep, they have to go work now. Thanks for joining. If you can come to class and you have to leave, that's okay. You know, you can let me know. You can just leave. It's fine. So 27 students. Good to see everybody. Thanks for coming back. It's good to see you, Smith. Thanks for joining today. And Faye, we have a new student as well. So good to see both of you. All right, I'm going to take a quick drink here and then we will get started. All right. Back to the lesson. We're going to look at the questions, see what we have here. Lots of questions. Number 1, where was the epicenter of the earthquake? Where was the epicenter of the earthquake? And some of you might have saw the answer there. That's okay. We're just kind of going along. It's not too serious. It's not a big test or quiz. So raise your hand. Where was the epicenter? Where was the center of the earthquake? Do you know? Which country? BJ, what is the answer? Where was the epicenter of the earthquake?
The center of earthquake is in Myanmar.
Yes, we can see right here the answer. The epicenter was located in neighboring
Located.
Myanmar. So Myanmar, it's just saying neighboring Myanmar. That just means it's the country right next to Thailand, neighboring. Okay, so correct. Yes, it was in Myanmar. That's where the center. Okay, but we could still feel it in Thailand, right? You could still feel it a long ways away. It's just asking where the epicenter, where the center is. Okay, so you will hear this a lot with earthquakes. And I know Thailand doesn't feel earthquakes a lot. It's not very common. But in the United States, when I lived in California, I'm just going to mute you, BJ. In California, I lived in Los Angeles for 5 years, and there were earthquakes like every week, sometimes 2 or 3 earthquakes in California every week, but they were small. Like you could barely feel them. Sometimes you wouldn't notice them. Sometimes you'd be sleeping at night, you wouldn't wake up. Sometimes during the day, you would just kind of feel a little strange, but you couldn't tell. So earthquakes are common in California and some other places in the United States, but they're not this big normally. So that's the big difference. Thailand doesn't feel earthquakes very often. And then you have a very big one. That's very scary. So, wow. Very scary. Next question. What was the magnitude of the earthquake? So there's a number. Does anybody know the number? And I'm not even sure it said it up here. Did it say it in the sentences? This might be just something we know from the news, but does anybody know the magnitude? Like there's a number of how strong the earthquake is. Does anybody know? Raise your hand. Oh, Smith. All right, let's see. Get your microphone on. What is the magnitude?
The earthquake had magnitude of 7.7.
Yes. So let's look down here. I think that's correct. Yes, the earthquake had a magnitude of 7.7. So that's a big one. All right, very big. Let's see if you can answer this question, anybody. Were there any casualties in Bangkok? Were there any casualties? Casualties means deaths. Were there any deaths? Hold up number 1 if yes, 2 for no. Were there any casualties? Hold up 1 for yes, 2 for no. What do we think? Any casualties? Let's look. We know that there were because in the news it mentioned it, but did it mention it here in the story? It says there were significant tremors, said the buildings were swaying, said the emergency services were overwhelmed. Does it say that there were people that died? Doesn't mention it here, but in the news, we know that some people were injured, some people died, right? It was very serious, okay? So that's something that we know from the news. So if you know these answers from the news, from anywhere, raise your hand. Next question, did any buildings collapse in Bangkok? Did any buildings collapse in Bangkok? Raise your hand. Did any buildings collapse? No one. All right. Well, yes, we had buildings collapse in Bangkok. Yes, we saw on the news. So collapse, it means it came crashing down, right? There were several buildings that collapsed. There were several that came crashing down. So very scary. We have to get out of the building. Many people had to evacuate. And I remember Cobb was talking about the evacuation. Cobb had to evacuate many people from work. I think you said 5,000. So that's a lot. There were casualties. Yes, many people injured. And yes, many buildings collapsed. And here's the next question. So this we talked about. Was the public transportation disrupted? Was the public transportation disrupted in Bangkok? What do we think? Does anybody know? It said something about the BTS and MRT. Was that disrupted? Yeah, let's look. I remember it talked about it. Let's find it. I remember reading it. I remember reading BTS. Here it is. So it says right here, the transportation system in Bangkok was disrupted. That's exactly what the question asked, right? Let's look. Was the public transportation system affected? Yes. So that's exactly what it's asking. It says right here, if we go back, yes, the transportation system in Bangkok was disrupted. Temporary closures, BTS and MRT. So that means that the trains were closed for a little while, right? Because of the earthquake. What other questions? Let's see if we know. What other countries were affected by the earthquake? What countries were affected? What countries could feel the earthquake? Raise your hand if you know. There's like 3 countries we can name. What are some countries that were affected by the earthquake? We have Myanmar, right? The epicenter, that was in Myanmar. So Myanmar was affected. Thailand could feel the earthquake. And there's one more country that could feel the earthquake for sure. I think China. China said they could feel the earthquake. Thailand, Myanmar. There were some others too. I mean, there's more than just 2 or 3. So it's amazing. The epicenter was in Myanmar, but many other countries could feel it. Very scary. Let's look at some other questions, see if we know the answers. This question asks, were there people trapped in the collapsed buildings? Yes, there were. So we had some people that were trapped in the collapsed buildings. So people were working in the buildings. When they collapsed, you can get trapped inside them. So right now, there's rescue teams that are trying to rescue the people that were trapped in the buildings that collapsed, okay? So hopefully the rescue teams can save a lot of people. You know, I don't think they'll be able to save everybody, but I hope they can save as many people as possible, right? How did the earthquake affect the communication networks? Okay, talked about the communication networks. How did the earthquake affect it? How did the earthquake affect the communication networks? Let's go ahead, let's look. I remember it talking something about the communication. I remember the word communication networks, something about that up here. Let's see if we can find. We're going to go back and look. Oh, right here. We found the words communication networks experienced temporary disruptions due to the high volume of calls. So that's what it was asking. So yes, it's like the phone companies basically had so many people calling at the same time. They were calling the friends, calling the family. And when you get so many calls at the same time, and you get too many calls, it sometimes causes a disruption. It causes a problem. It causes the phones to stop working. So that happened. Okay, that can happen after big emergencies. Let's look at some other questions, okay? We went through most of them. What was the condition of the roads after the earthquake? So what were the roads like after the earthquake? I think it talked about it more in the news. It talked about the roads being congested, right? There's a lot of people trying to get in their cars, get on their motorbikes and leave. So the roads got very busy, right? The roads got congested. There's too many cars, so they couldn't drive very fast. So there were some problems on the roads, people trying to evacuate. So the earthquake caused all kinds of problems, all right? It caused buildings to collapse. It caused a lot of people to get on the road, and then the roads got congested, a lot of cars. So a lot of problems, okay? And we kind of went through the questions there. Let's start at the top and do some of the vocabulary words. So these will be new for many people that just joined this hour, okay? So let's have somebody help me. Who would like to help repeat after me? You're just going to repeat the word. Just repeat one word after me. Let's see. I'm going to ask Smith, would you like to help me? And if you don't want to help, that's okay. Just say no and let me know.
I can.
Okay, so just repeat after me, everybody. Cause,
Cause.
cause,
Cause.
significant,
Significant.
significant,
Significant.
significant,
Significant.
tremor,
Tremor.
tremor,
Tremor.
throughout,
Throughout.
throughout,
Throughout.
cause,
Cause.
significant,
Significant.
tremor,
Tremor.
throughout.
Throughout.
Stay with me. Let's go to high rise,
High rise.
high rise,
High rise.
noticeably,
Noticeably.
noticeably,
Noticeably.
sway,
Sway.
sway,
Sway.
quake,
Quake.
quake,
Quake.
high rise,
High rise.
noticeably,
Noticeably.
sway,
Sway.
quake.
Quake.
Very good. Thank you for speaking in front of the class. Thank you, Smith.
You're welcome.
Awesome. New student, first class, speaking in front of the other classmates. I love it. All right, who's going to help me next? Who's it going to be? Raise your hand. Let's practice. All right, I'm going to try to choose somebody new. How about Tin? Would you like to help me? Tin? All right, cool. Thanks for getting your microphone on. Repeat after me, everybody. Emergency,
Emergency.
emergency,
Emergency.
overwhelmed,
Overwhelmed.
overwhelmed,
Overwhelmed.
service,
Service.
service,
Service.
earthquake,
Earthquake.
earthquake,
Earthquake.
emergency,
Emergency.
overwhelmed,
Overwhelmed.
service,
Service.
earthquake,
Earthquake.
overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
That's good. Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
Several,
Several.
structural,
Structural.
even,
Even.
suffer,
Suffer.
damage,
Damage.
collapse,
Collapse.
several,
Several.
structural,
Structural.
even,
Even.
suffer,
Suffer.
damage,
Damage.
collapse,
Collapse.
structural,
Structural.
structural,
Structural.
several,
Several.
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 Very nice job. Thank you. Getting that microphone on, did a nice job there. Perfect. So yeah, and you fixed the little mistake with structural. So yeah, you improved. At first it was a little bit hard to say it, but you said it correctly after just a little bit of practice. So good. Everybody repeat after me. We'll practice one a couple more times. Practices. Structural. 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 All right. That one's kind of a new word. We don't see that one very often. So nice job, team. Okay, next words. Just repeat after me. Evacuate. Evacuate. Seek. Seek. Safety. Safety. Open area. Open area. Evacuate. Seek. Safety. Open area. Next group of words, we have 5 here. Repeat after me. Transportation. Transportation. Disrupted. Disrupted. Closure. Closure. All right. Hello, Prim. Thanks for joining class. Would you like to repeat after me, Prim? Would you like to turn on your microphone and help me? All right. Repeat after me. System.
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 Temporary.
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 Disrupted.
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 Closure.
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 System.
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 Closure.
Closure.
System.
System.
Temporary.
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 Thank you. Good job. Excellent. Thanks for getting that microphone on. Good work, Prim. Very good. Okay. Everybody's microphone's off now. And Pimmy, would you like to help me out? Yes. Get that microphone on. Okay. Good to see you.
Yeah.
How many classes have you been to?
First class.
This is your first class.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I thought so. So welcome. Welcome to class. We have new students every night. I love it. So repeat after me. Report.
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 Epicenter.
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 Indicate.
Indicates.
Indicate.
Indicates.
Neighboring.
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 Report.
Report.
Epicenter.
Epicenter.
Indicate.
Indicates.
Neighboring.
Neighboring.
Rescue.
Rescue.
Tirelessly.
Tirelessly.
Search.
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 Rubble.
Rubber.
Rubble.
Rubber.
Survivor.
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 Collapse.
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 Collapse. Collapse. Sorry.
Yes, that's better. We have this at the end. So, collapse.
Collapse.
Yes. Collapse.
Collapse.
Rubble.
Rubble.
Rescue.
Rescue.
Survivor.
Survivor.
Collapse.
Collapse. I'm
Tirelessly.
sorry.
That's all right. Tirelessly.
Tirelessly.
Collapse.
Collapse.
Rescue.
Rescue.
Collapse.
Collapse.
See, you're close. You're getting it. So that's very close. Let's do it 3 more times. Everybody. Collapse,
Collapse.
collapse,
Collapse.
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 Yeah, and that's a very common word with earthquakes. So the buildings, right? They collapsed, right? They come down, they crashed. So very nice job. Thank you for joining class today and speaking on the
Yeah.
microphone.
Thank you.
Awesome. We have new students every night. Smith is new, Pimmy's new, and we have a couple. Faye is new. I think there's another student. Prim is new. Faya is pretty new. And Potter's been here for a few weeks. So, or a few days, I guess. Not a few weeks, few days. Let's move on to a few more words. Okay, we're doing nice. We're just going to keep rolling along here. So, Faya, would you like to get your microphone on? Faya? All right, here she goes. Repeat after me, everybody. Hospital,
Hospital.
hospital,
Hospital.
treat,
Treat.
treat,
Treat.
injured,
Injure.
injured,
Injure.
a large number of,
A large number of.
hospital,
Hospital.
treat,
Treat.
injured,
Injure.
aftershock,
Aftershock.
aftershock,
Aftershock.
continue,
Continue.
continue,
Continue.
aftershock,
Aftershock.
continue,
Continue.
injured,
Injure.
treat,
Treat.
hospital,
Hospital.
good, communication,
Communication.
network,
Network.
communication,
Communication.
network.
Network.
Nice job. Thank you very much,
Thank-
Faya.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Good, good, good. Faya is a new student. She's doing awesome. Just starting out in class. So many of you are new. Good to see you. And Potter, would you like to help? All right.
Yes.
Experience,
Experience.
temporary,
Temporary.
disruption,
Distortion.
volume,
Volume.
call,
Call.
temporary,
Temporary.
network,
Network.
communication,
Communication.
experience,
Experience.
disruption,
Disruption.
international,
International.
aid,
Aid.
organization,
Organization.
offer,
Offer.
assistance,
Assistant.
assistance,
Assistant.
support,
Support.
support,
Support.
relief,
Relieves.
relief,
Relieves.
efforts,
Efforts.
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 Good. Nice job.
Thank
Thank you very much. Always raising his hand. He's always volunteering to speak, getting that practice in. Very good. All right, everybody else, just repeat after me. Everybody's microphone is off, so don't be afraid. Speak up nice and loud, okay? That's how you practice speaking well, okay? You want people to hear you. You have to speak loud, okay? Speak up is how we say it. Speak up. Express. Express. Platform. Platform. Okay, now I'm going to read the sentences, okay? I'm just going to go through all of them. I will read the sentence first, all the way through. So just listen the first time, okay? And then I will have you repeat after me little by little, okay? So the first time, just listen to me, read the whole thing, and then I will have you repeat after me, okay? Here we go. The earthquake on March 28th, 2025 caused significant tremors throughout Bangkok. Just wait. Now repeat after me. The earthquake on March 28th, 2025 caused significant tremors throughout Bangkok. The earthquake on March 28th, 2025 caused significant tremors throughout Bangkok. Repeat after me. The earthquake on March 28th, 2025 caused significant tremors throughout Bangkok. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. And don't worry if you can't say the entire sentence, if it's a little difficult. It's pretty difficult to do this, okay, if you're just beginning. So don't worry, we'll get better. If you can do this, great. Just practice, okay? So first time, just listen. Just listen. Many high-rise buildings in the city swayed noticeably during the quake. Repeat after me. Many high-rise buildings in the city swayed noticeably during the quake. Many high-rise buildings in the city swayed noticeably during the quake. Many high-rise buildings in the city swayed noticeably during the quake. All right, next one. First time, just listen. Emergency services were overwhelmed with calls after the earthquake. Repeat after me. Emergency services were overwhelmed with calls after the quake. Excuse me, I made a little mistake. I said quake and the word is earthquake. So I said quake like the sentence before. So I have to fix that mistake. With calls after the earthquake. So I want to tell everybody, I want to admit, so I make mistakes too, right? I just made a mistake. I said quake instead of earthquake because we just practiced it earlier. I was used to saying quake. So it's okay. I make mistakes sometimes too. Sometimes we're just thinking about different things, different words. So let's try to say this whole sentence all the way through. So repeat after me. Emergency services were overwhelmed with calls after the earthquake. All right. Just listen. Several buildings suffered structural damage and some even collapsed. Okay, repeat after me. Several buildings suffered structural damage and some even collapsed. Several buildings suffered structural damage and some even collapsed. Okay, just listen. People evacuated their homes and workplaces, seeking safety in open areas. Repeat after me. People evacuated their homes and workplaces, seeking safety in open areas. People evacuated their homes and workplaces seeking safety in open areas. All right. Very good. I can see everybody practicing, okay? Even though our microphones are off, I can see everybody practicing. Who would like to help me with the last one? Maybe last one or two. Raise your hand if you would like to repeat after me and practice. Cobb, get you to help. Get Cobb to help me out here.
Sure.
All right. So repeat after me. The transportation system in Bangkok was disrupted.
The transportation system in Bangkok was interrupted.
It was disrupted.
Sorry, disrupted.
Yep. With temporary closures of the BTS and MRT.
With temporary closure of the BTS and MRT.
Good. The transportation system in Bangkok was disrupted.
The transportation system in Bangkok was disrupted.
With temporary closures of the BTS and MRT.
With temporary closures of the BTS and MRT.
Awesome. Let's do this one together. You're doing very well. News reports indicated.
News reports indicated.
That the epicenter.
That the epicenter.
Of the earthquake.
Of the earthquake.
Was in neighboring Myanmar.
Was in neighboring Myanmar.
Okay, let's try to read the whole thing. So repeat after me. News reports indicated that the epicenter of the earthquake was in neighboring Myanmar.
News reports indicated that the epicenter of the earthquake was neighboring Myanmar.
Yeah, it was in neighboring Myanmar. Good. Let's do one more. All right, Cobb. Cobb, I love having Cobb help me. She's here every class and she loves to help out. So here we go. Repeat after me, Cobb. Rescue teams worked tirelessly.
Rescue teams worked tirelessly.
To search for survivors in the rubble.
To search for survivors in the rubble.
Of collapsed buildings.
Of collapsed buildings.
Rescue teams worked tirelessly to search for survivors in the rubble of collapsed buildings.
Rescue teams worked tirelessly to search for survivors in the rubble of collapsed buildings.
Nice. Good job, Cobb.
Thank you.
That was a tricky sentence, but you did very well. Well done. Rescue teams worked tirelessly to search for survivors in the rubble of collapsed buildings. That's not very easy to say for me. It's just sometimes certain words, when they're put in a sentence, you really have to pronounce them slowly and correctly. So very nice job, Cobb. Thank you. So we are going to kind of stop here. We have a couple more minutes left, so don't go anywhere. But I just want to review what we learned, all right? Review. We're going to talk about kind of what we learned. So unfortunately, we all heard about the earthquake. Okay, so unfortunately, that means it's kind of too bad. It's sad that we had to hear about it. It's sad that it happened, but it happened. And I wanted to help make a positive experience. So we tried to learn about the earthquake, okay? We learned some English words, things like collapse, like the buildings collapsed, emergency, things like that, about how people were scared. The transportation was shut down, like BTS and MRT. It affected Myanmar, Thailand, China, other countries. So yeah, it was a very sad event. So I hope that all of you are okay. Some of you had to evacuate buildings. I know Cobb did. I know several people had to evacuate. It was scary. So I'm glad all of you are able to join class. And I hope that your friends and family are okay with the earthquake, okay? I really hope that they're okay. Thank you for joining. If it's your first class, my name is Calvin, and thank you for joining. I have class every night. You can also join class with Crew Joy and Crew Dream any day, anytime. You can join them in Zoom, so you have the choice. If you want to come to my class every time, then you can, okay? So I have class every night, 7 to 9 p.m. It's good to see you here. Feya is new. Faye is new. Pimmy. We have some new students. And who else? Let me look on the list. Smith, I believe. Yes. So thank you to all the new people that signed up. Keep coming back. Be consistent. And thanks for joining our classroom. Right now, we are going to say goodbye. So I'm going to turn the microphones on. We can say goodbye. We can say have a nice night. We can say things like that. So everybody stay safe. Take care of your health. And I know that I'm very appreciative. I'm very happy to be alive and healthy. And I'm very happy to help you learn English. So I'm very happy with my life. And I'm so fortunate to be healthy and feel good and be safe. So thanks for joining. I just wanted to make sure that I say that out loud. I'm very happy, very fortunate that I have my health and safety. Not everybody has that. Okay. So let me turn on the microphones and we can say hi, we can say goodbye. Hey Potter.
Thank
Bye.
you,
Yes,
teacher.
I'm glad all of you are okay. Good to see you, Feya.
See you. See you.
Good to see you, Kuna. Thanks,
Thank
Potter.
you. Bye-bye.
Pimmy, thanks for joining tonight for the first time. Thanks, Pimmy.
Thank you.
Dada,
Bye.
good for joining.
Guys. Bye
Smith,
bye.
thank you for
Thank
joining for your
you.
first time,
Thank
Smith.
you.
Thank you.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Yes, I will be back. Faye, thanks for joining. Pinong, thank you. Everybody have a great Saturday night, okay? I'll be back tomorrow night. Thanks, Pimmy. Peace. Oh, we're doing the heart. I need to learn more. There's so many. I need to learn more. I'm used to this. Peace. As Americans, yeah, we do this a lot in the US. Peace.
Okay.
This. And then I know this.
In
Yeah.
Thailand called susu.
Okay.
Susu.
Yes, susu. That's like
Yeah.
fighting.
Susu.
Keep fighting.
Peace.
Okay. Be
Keep
happy.
fighting.
Be
Yes,
happy today.
susu.
Mini heart. Yeah, I learned this one.
You can do.
Yeah. You teach me more next time.
See you tomorrow. Bye
Yeah, everybody have a good night.
Okay. Bye. Say
Bye
goodbye.
bye.
Bye bye.
Welcome.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.